Hey guys, how we doing? Brian here from Legacy Guides, helping you craft the story that others will tell. Want to spend a couple minutes with you talking about quitting. Yeah, quitting. Why would we talk about quitting? Well, today is January 12, 2024, and it's well known that today is Quitter's Day. And maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, but it is a common thinking that right here in the beginning of January, a lot of people take those New Year's resolutions that they had, and by the 12th of January, they've already said, I quit. I am done with that New Year's resolution. Resolutions like I'm going to write a book this year. I'm going to have a podcast this year. I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. I'm going to whatever, fill in the blank. And today is Quitter's Day. And so many of those New Year's resolutions are already gone. Some of you have gone through the first 11 days of January and you're like, I'm not going to do the cold plunge again today. Or you've said, I'm not going to go back to the gym today. Or you're just saying to yourself, I'm not going to pursue that one thing that I wanted to pursue so badly in 2023. Maybe I'll just push it off to 2025. And what I want to talk with you for a moment about is, what do you do in moments when you feel like quitting? What do we do in moments that we feel like quitting? Because these are common moments for all of us. If we're honest, there's moments when we feel like quitting on things, and resolutions are one of those things that we end up thinking about quitting on. So I want to give you just two suggestions today for what you can do when you run into these moments when you just want to give up, you just want to quit. So suggestion number one is this. I want you to reframe your thinking. Reframe your thinking about what you're quitting on. Often what we do when we set goals is we set these actions or these habits or these plans in place that are kind of micro in nature instead of macro in nature. They're the habits and the actions. And yes, your habits and your actions, they inform who you are. But what I want you to reframe and reshift your thinking toward is, what if I shape my thinking around first my identity and then the actions and habits that follow that? This is an idea that James Clear puts forward in his book, Atomic Habits, still a nationwide bestseller. Highly recommend that book to you. But one of his ideas in there is that habits, they form our identity over time. They form who we are day after day after day. But he also says the vice versa of that, the opposite of that is true, which is our identity also shapes our actions and our habits. Who we believe ourselves to be actually informs the things that we do. These things correlate. And so what I want us to do is that I want us to reframe our thinking, because sometimes what we do is we set goals or objectives or New Year's resolutions around these little tangible goals, like I want to lose 20 pounds. And instead, what I want you to do is reframe it to think this: I'm an athlete. What would an athlete do? Well, an athlete would do the actions and the habits and the things that will make you lose 20 pounds, but we're not talking about losing 20 pounds. What we're talking about is embracing the identity of an athlete. I have experienced this in my own life. This year, I could say, I want to do X amount of trips. And I could get to a point where I either decide like, yep, I can get to that, or I can get to that goal, or I'm just going to give up on that goal. What's better for me is to say, I'm just going to seek out opportunity. In fact, that's my word of the year. My word of the year is opportunity. And opportunity is more framed in identity than it is in the action. Right? Opportunity says, I'm a man of opportunity. I'm a man who's going to seek after new opportunities in this upcoming year. Yes, I'll miss out on some opportunities, but I'll have other opportunities to come. I'll say yes to some opportunities, but I'll say no also to some opportunities, because I am a man of opportunity. So what is that word of the year for you? Do you need to tell yourself, I'm an athlete, I'm a writer, I'm a creator? What am I this year that can inform those things? Reframe, reshape your thinking around your identity so that you can continue to pursue your goals and not tap tap out and say, I quit, right? So that's number one, right? Reframe your thinking toward identity. Number two is maybe you just need to quit. I know that's surprising, but I know that's maybe not what you're expecting to hear about. Maybe you just need to quit, and don't take that for face value, because here's where I was introduced to that idea. Couple weeks ago, I was listening to the Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast. I cannot recommend it enough to you. Go and check that out. And he was interviewing Louis Giglio, who is a pastor from Atlanta, Passion City Church. So you've got two well-known authors and speakers, leaders and pastors together, and they're talking about what do we do in these moments when we feel like quitting. And Louis said exactly what I just said, which was very surprising to me. Louis said, well, maybe you just need to quit when you feel like quitting. And then he went on and became really beautifully pastoral in saying it's in these moments of quitting, these moments of giving up, that he has felt the deepest sense of God come beside him and say, I've got you in this moment, in the moment of despair, in the moment where you just want to give up. God comes in and says, yep, I've got you in this moment. And it was this deep pastoral word of encouragement to me, and maybe to some of you, that, yeah, it's in those moments of quitting, right? It's those moments when we want to give up that God comes in and restores us and renews us. But it goes further than that, right? Like this past year was hard. It was my first full year in Legacy Guide. So there were some incredible moments where we were just literally on a mountaintop, right? And then there was moments where I'm like, is this going to work? Moments when I wanted to quit. And there were moments when I thought, I'm gonna quit like today, and tomorrow I'm just gonna go get a job. And there were multiple moments like that. And what's really interesting is in my own head, I kind of said, I'm gonna quit. And then the next day I got up and I just decided, well, maybe I'll keep going. And I gave myself permission to quit like for a night. And then I said, you know what? I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a quitter. I'm a guy of opportunity. I'm a man of opportunity. So I'm not going to quit, but I gave myself permission to quit for a night. I had this conversation with a guy just this morning, and he said it was the same experience for him in his new business. A couple of years in, I think he's in his third year of business. And he said, man, I have had so many opportunities when I just felt like giving up, like quitting. And maybe that's what you need to do. Just quit for a minute. Quit for an hour, quit for the afternoon, quit tonight, but then tomorrow rehire yourself. Say, I'm gonna keep going. Whatever goals and objectives I set out for myself, I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to quit for good. I'm just quitting for the night. And then tomorrow I'm going to start again. What do you do when you feel like quitting? I want you to either reframe your thinking toward identity, or give yourself permission to quit so that you can start again tomorrow.